Good evening. So tonight we are visiting the home of Jeff and Mary Kay with they collect Halloween villages from Department 56. Very interesting what they've done here with their home. Sure, everybody does lights, but look what they did with their hedge here too. I've never seen a hedge cut like this. I'm hoping there'll be enough light here to see this. Maybe if I back up, there's some light. I've never seen someone do a small hedge in this shape. And you walk to his front door, and of course he's got all kinds of ghosts, but I love his entryway here into his house. This might give a better light of his hedge. I've never seen anybody cut a hedge like that. Very, very cool. Got his pumpkins out. We're ready to go inside and visit with Jeff and Mary Kay. So tonight, as I said, we started outside. We're here at the home of Jeff and Mary Kay, another Halloween enthusiast. And I visited this house for a Halloween party recently. I was overwhelmed by how much village I saw. And this is nothing. But what an incredible job Jeff has done. So I'm going to start talking with Jeff and understand his passion, his enthusiasm for all this. Jeff, how did you get started with all this?
Well, I like to blame it on my wife.
That's a good thing to do.
About 24 years ago, she had mentioned to me that she wanted to do a Christmas village. And I said, sure, honey, if that's what you'd like to do, I'm happy to do it, and I don't do anything half-assed. So
No.
we started collecting, and then now we have over 500 lit houses in our Christmas collection.
That's
and
just
so
Christmas,
on.
not
Yeah,
to mention
just
the Halloween.
Christmas. Yeah, that's we started collecting at Department 56, what's called Snow Village,
I remember.
which is one of their oldest villages, and so we did that, and then we decided, well, we've got to do some Halloween also. So I started collecting Halloween when Department 56 came out with their Halloween program, and we have been doing that. We now have about 214 either
Got some
lit
catching up to do.
either lit pieces or animated pieces for Halloween. In fact, we have just about every piece that they've ever produced for Halloween and so on.
Well, it's going to be impossible to show you every single piece that Jeff has, but we're going to give you a quick perusal of the area and how he has separated the villages into different parts. Okay, Dave? So we're going to start in the living room here with Jeff and take a look at these villages. Jeff, you have these all separated in certain ways.
Yeah, this is kind of my downtown area of Halloween, and I have little individual vignettes in each of these shelves and so on, depicting different parts of the Halloween village. Up on top, we have a train set up with the railroad station and a platform and so on up on top with the full railroad up there, and then little vignettes with different parts. We have a tombstone factory set up down below here.
You know, I've been collecting these. I've got so many parts of the train, but I've never seen the whole train together. I didn't realize how long it was. So,
Yeah, and they have decided to stop. So this will be all that's done on the train.
The first year they came out with them, I was told it was only for 1 year, so I bought so many of the train stations, and I've been sitting on them for years, hoping that someday this would all end.
This is our tombstone factory down here in the middle. This is kind of one of my favorite
favorites.
setups with the mausoleums and so on around it, and then the cemetery over on the left here also with quite a few of the mausoleums, and they come out with a new mausoleum every year.
They're called RIPs. 2000. I've got them going back over the
rest in
years.
peace.
Rest in peace.
And then one of my favorite pieces is right above it here, and this is Dr. Lunatic's factory here, where Frankenstein is on a platform in the middle and has the lights up on top and so on there. But lots and lots of neat pieces.
Incredible how you've separated and put all these collections together. So I'm going to move over to this other side here of this first case that we're looking at. Costume shop.
This is another one of my favorite pieces here, and this is the Monsters of the Deep Aquarium, and has the different octopuses and different sea creatures and so on. Some of them busting out of the aquarium there.
Right. I think when you came to my store at one point, I didn't have mine on. The power had just gone out.
Some of the pieces are animated, like the fortune teller here, and she'll actually tell a fortune.
Tells me what you don't want to hear. The answer is no.
And then other pieces have music, like the theater here with the themes from the movies and so on there.
The Ghosty Theater, I think I accidentally let my last one go and I didn't save one for myself. Well, we're going to move on to another display, and we'll end this portion. So Jeff, we're down below in the case here, and this looks like, well, I know you got Dead End Motel down here.
Yeah, and then the to the right of the Dead End Motel is the costume shop, and that was one of the original pieces that came out with the Halloween collection.
Right, and up here, what is that? Is that the...
That's one of the Harley Davidson pieces.
Oh, yes.
And then have Grimsley Manor and the new asylum over on this side.
Okay, I'm going to work my way over there on my knees. Incredible, as I said. We're backing up here for a second.
And then behind you here, I have
I just want to show this case one more time. Okay. Look at all this case. I mean, everything we just individually showed you. Look at this. Can you imagine dusting? So on the table, you were telling me.
Yeah, this is kind of my shipwreck scene here. I've got an old schooner and a crashed ship in the lighthouse with the ghost circling overhead, and even have a little coal car here with a couple skeletons paddling away on the coal car with some different things underneath. There's a windmill, and then also a mill here with some ghostly fog and so on coming up from
So some people get concerned about their energy use for the lights outside. Does this ever push up your energy bill for all these?
Not really. Most of this is very low voltage stuff out here, and I have it all on timers, so I can turn it off and on with just a click of a switch and so on. So.
Wow. Okay, let's turn that light off so we can see what the whole effect is at the nighttime in here. This is one heck of a night light. To see this in the dark is something else. To see it in the light, you get to see all the detail, but in the light, I mean, in the dark, you really get the whole feeling of what the Halloween Village was supposed to be like.
And then there are some other scenes on the far right here on the corner that.
Did I miss something over here?
Yeah.
Oh, good old Howl Radio right there. Limited to that 1 year. The Bat Cave, or the Cave Club.
This is a brand new Day of the Dead setup that came out this year. And then on the bottom down here, I have my tribute to New Orleans with the Voodoo Lounge and the tattoo parlor and the banjo players and so on and so forth there.
So in effect, you've gotten every single piece, all the little accessories, everything that goes with them for all these.
Yes.
Incredible. Okay, we're going to close out this session and go to the next area. Okay, so at one point, Department 56 came out with a ghost town. Want to talk about?
Yeah, these are the pieces that were part of that ghost town collection. There's a blacksmith shop and a jail and a schoolhouse, granary out there, a saloon, and different other shops and houses and so on. So I've put together a little vignette here that has a lot of the zombies and skeletons all enjoying the ghost town that is still alive and well.
If you notice, some people put up a village too, but look at, he's got the detail of the fence, all the pumpkins around it. all the little characters. That's what some people miss. They take just the houses and they miss all the characters that make up the whole setting. Very, very good.
And then on the other side here,
Okay, I'm going to shut this one down and go over there. So we're now in another section of the house, down in the living room, but this whole entryway, he set up a whole exact full table of this, and these are some of the pieces that he's got. Not some.
yeah.
So
On the second level here, I have my residential area with the different lit residential homes and the trick-or-treaters trick-or-treating in the homes and so on. And then out front here, I have a farm area with the pumpkin patch and the dancers. Like I said, different ones move and have music. There's a Halloween dance to the Monster Mash.
The apple barns, all the different barns.
Kettle corn and hay maze and pumpkin carving studio and so on out there. And then this is a new piece that came out this year. This is the apple barn.
A limited edition, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the rest of this in this area is all once again a part of the residential setup with all the trick-or-treaters visiting the homes, and then I have a small little Halloween parade going on in the street up front here. So
Take a look at this parade, folks. All these little characters. How much time does it take you to set this up?
I can usually set up our Halloween display in about 3 weeks, and it usually takes me about 6 weeks to do our Christmas display and lighting.
So 3 weeks to set it up, but it must take longer, I know, to put things away back in their boxes, to fit them in the
It's a couple
styrofoam.
weeks to do that also.
Wow.
We have a little skeleton up on top, kind of overlooking the village there. So.
Got to have someone overlooking all that. So again, this wraps from here all the way over to here. And this is outside that case that we first saw. All this.
Couple of my other favorite pieces here. The Rusty's used car lot up here. With
I love that one.
With the car with the headlights on, circling over on top, and then the bone grinder mill up on top with the mill wheel running and so on there.
The eyeball house. I bet you know the name of every single house, every single character.
Most of them I do.
How long have you been doing this?
Halloween has been out for about 20 years, and like I said, the Christmas, so we've been doing for about 24 years. So.
Wow. Okay, we're going to go to the next room here, and this is pure entertainment. This is your carnival section, right?
Yeah, this is our haunted carnival and pumpkin patch here, and most of these pieces have been out for quite a few years, but I try to have every area have a little bit of a theme and so on. And like I said, this is our carnival and pumpkin patch area.
That has been one of the most sought after pieces, that carnival ride up there.
Yeah, that's the carousel, and that's
The
been
carousel.
out for many years. The fun house on the back right-hand corner here.
That's
was
one of the first
original-
pieces I ever had.
Yeah, that was one of the original Halloween pieces.
Other people can put out villages, but nobody can quite compete with Department 56 for its creativity and its attention to detail. I remember the black cat. What's it called?
Ferris wheel
The
there?
Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Hypno Girl. And I love Travis Louis. Quite a collection for a carnival. Wow, let's go to the next one. Okay, we're now in another alcove here.
Yeah, on the side of the fireplace here, I have some little vignettes also. That's Blackstone's castle, and that was a castle that came out with the fiber optic tree in the background,
Right.
and so on, many years ago with the Century and another tower there. And then below it, I've got the Bates Motel with the Roadkill Grill here.
Wow.
And then on the bottom over here, I've got kind of an outdoor scene with some of the old houses and trailers.
There's
and,
lot 13.
And different places out in the woods.
The
and
Black
so
Widow
on.
dating service. Wow. I know I say wow a lot, but when you see this all together, it's just wow. Okay, we're going to walk over here with a camera real quick.
And then over here, we've got Dracula's castle and the Frankenstein's windmill there with the characters up in front. And then this is my witches area here. I have all the witches' houses and the witches' flight school and so on on the first shelf. And then on the bottom shelf, I have the rest of the witches' village with all the homes having witches' hats as their tops and so on there.
I've seen all these individually at shows, purchase them, but I've never seen all this together. I keep saying that, but how you put this together and how you divided it up, amazing.
That's kind of the fun part. Department 56 comes out with about 6 to 8 new pieces every year, so it's always kind of a challenge to figure out where those new pieces are going to go. And of course, if I move something into this area, then I have to move something into a different area or create a new area.
So I'm going to phase this out, and we're going to talk about his Christmas village, which isn't up right now, as if he has any more room with all the Halloween. We've now ventured upstairs in Jeff's and Mary Kay's place, and look at how they set this up for the Addams Family house. All the characters are there, appropriate since the new movie came out, but I like the way they've got Uncle Fester's car going up the steep incline there. But again, a lot of attention to detail. I don't think anybody would do this much detail. Maybe there is somebody. I don't know who they are, but wow.
There are others out there. We've had tours and folks in from all over the country.
So in capping this off tonight, we're upstairs where the Addams family was, and we're here talking to Jeff. And Jeff's favorite butler. He speaks 3 different languages.
He does. He speaks English and French and Spanish out there.
Incredible. I know during the party there was a lot of kids up here having fun talking to him. So, Jeff, tell us, you do the Christmas Village too. Have you collected every single piece of that as well?
No, I collect what's called Snow Village. Department 56 has about 6 or 7 different villages. Snow Village is the one that was their original and came out in 1976, so it's been out the longest. But
you weren't born then. Were you?
No. Well, yes, I was about 7 years old at that point. But we started collecting about 24 years ago, and I've tried to get a majority of what they've come out with since that point, and then go back and grab as many old pieces as I can. And so I'm getting close, but there still are quite a few pieces I don't have from the Snow Village collection.
So I think when we first looked around the house, it seemed like you built this house around your village.
I did. We had another home here in Canby, and when I had this home designed and built, I had the village in mind, so I could kind of picture where I wanted to do displays and what I needed electrical-wise and space-wise to do those displays. So I had the house built with that in mind.
So my big question was, what happens in 20 more years of villages?
Everybody always asks that, but I'm able to come up with some new ideas and new places to do it, and we have it from everywhere from our master bedroom to our guest bedrooms and so on and so forth. Every part of the house has a different portion of the village and so on for Christmas.
Wow. So and do you start tomorrow? We're on November 1st. Do you start tomorrow taking Halloween down?
I'll start taking Halloween down tomorrow, and probably take me a couple weeks to get that accomplished. And then as soon as that's done, I will start working on Christmas. And usually get that done sometime around mid-December or so.
Few
Tend
days
to have
before
our,
Christmas.
Yeah, we tend to have our holiday parties after Christmas, and so I'm always just concerned with having it done before Christmas and so on.
Wow. Any treasures, bits of advice you could hand out to the regular collector?
No, it's a lot of fun. My wife tells people now, when she told me 24 years ago that she wanted to have a village, she was thinking more like 5 pieces on a mantle someplace, and not 500 lit pieces later. But it's a lot of fun. If you like to enjoy and creativity out there, and it's fun for all ages. Kids really enjoy seeing the villages, and their parents and grandparents and so on out there. We actually went a few years ago back to Stillwater, Minnesota, and that was the town that Snow Village was patterned after. It's a little Victorian town in
Did not know that.
in northern Minnesota, and when we visited there, we saw a lot of the pieces that we have in our Christmas village in that town. It looks just like it out
So, what town would you say the Halloween village is after?
I don't know if there's a town that it was.
Many
it
towns.
was, yeah, they probably took a portion of many towns out there and stuff. But
Well-
no, it's a fun one. A lot of the pieces scream and flash and have music and sound and so on. So it's a fun collection to have out there.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to conclude this session with Jeff so he can get back to starting to take it all down. And what I thought was really cool here, Jeff, is not only do we have the butler, we got this eerie green color coming from behind your bar over there. It just added a whole different ambiance. Okay, well, Jeff, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Good luck with your collecting out there.
Oh, thanks. Okay, Jeff, tell us a little bit about the Village Idiots. Is it a local club? Is it a national club?
Yeah, no, that's Village Idiots are a local club of collectors, people that collect Department 56 and like to display and so on. We've got about usually anywhere from 40 to 60 different families that are members of the club, and we get together 4 or 5 times a year with meetings. And then also have picnics and tours and all sorts of things, and just share our love of collecting and displaying. And it really helps when you're able to go to different folks' homes and see how they set up and display both their Christmas or Halloween setups out there. You get ideas on things you can do in your home and so on. And so it's a fun club. We enjoy each other. We love to share our love of collecting and displaying villages out there. And then there are clubs around the United States. And so every year there'll be a national gathering, is what we call it, somewhere around the country. And we had one here in Portland several years ago, a couple years ago actually, and had people from all over the country come in that were collectors and toured and saw our homes and our displays. And then we go and do the same thing to
Now,
theirs.
you just celebrated your 30th anniversary of your club here recently, because I know that was held in my store.
Yeah.
And got Killer Cakes made the big pumpkin cake and all that. Most of my village wasn't even lit up that night, darn it. But next year I'll make sure if they come back. But 30 years of the club being in. I know you have vests. I've seen they have pins that list down that go down, hang down of all the different villages that they collect. Do all the clubs do that, or is that something specific to here locally?
All the clubs do similar types of things like that, and we have newsletters that we put out. But yeah, it's like I said, it's just a chance to share our love of collecting and displaying with other folks out there. And then we do educational things in our meetings. We'll do somebody will do a presentation on lighting and setting up lights and so on, or somebody will do one on carving foam and creating tombstones or so on out of foam. And so all sorts of different types of things we try to do to make our meetings both fun and educational.
I did notice downstairs as we were going around, I didn't point it out, but you've done a lot of carving of styrofoam down there for risers.
Yeah.
And
that helps to hide the electrical also. There's, of course, a lot of electrical that goes into
because
those
that could be a
displays.
class all of its own that could go on. I mean, all those villages require some electrical. Very few are on batteries,
No,
right?
yeah. In fact, I don't like to have things on batteries. I'd rather have a switch and be able to turn everything on with a
At
flick
one,
of a
one,
switch rather
yes.
than have to go around and turning things on my battery and so on. So,
So is there if somebody's interested in this and they want to get in touch with the club, is there a website for the Village
yeah,
Idiots?
yeah. If they go online and just pull up Village Idiots, you'll see a collectors club here in Portland, and there'll be a website and information regarding getting a hold of the club, and encourage you to come on out and attend one of our meetings and see if it might be something that you'd like to continue with. Our membership is $25 a year and includes the newsletter and all the activities and fun things that we do in meetings. So.
Well, I know I attended the last meeting. And I was impressed with how organized it was. People bring things in that they want to part with and sell them there really inexpensively. So I picked up a few pieces even I didn't have. So again, well, I thank you, Jeff, and we'll get back on the road here.
All right. Thanks for.
I'd like to share one other feature in Jeff and Mary Kay's house. That's their dining room table. Across from the Village that you saw earlier, look at this table. From the napkins down to the plates, placemats, centerpieces. This table is set for a big dining party. So Jeff and Mary Kay, do you ever have an actual dinner with these?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, normally we when we do our open houses, we fill that table up pretty good out there.
It looks like you never disturb the napkins.
We have usually folks will move those to the side and use a paper one to spare us the cleaning expenses.
This is again, just adds to the whole ambiance of the house. To walk in and see this table set up here with a black and orange.
The napkins kind of remind me of little bats flying and so on there.
Well, that is true, the way you've done those. Wow. Okay, well, again, I'll finish there.